For all the people to see. And justice is the one thing you should always find. You got to settle up your bones. You got to
Big shout out to Toby Keith. We lost a legend today, folks.
R.I.P. the man.
The man who had the wonderful line. Here we go.
This is against evil forces singing whiskey for my men, beer for my horses.
Oh, man. Shout out to Toby, an American hero, an American patriot, man who loved a good time. World isn't the same without him. 62 years is far too young. But I don't know if you're familiar at all with the, kind of how his illness progressed and all that. But he had an option to do the treatment, go through all the chemo, the bullshit, the hospital beds, the feeling like shit, and he elected to tour through stomach cancer. So he did a show as recently as December 12th, live show, full hour-and-a-half set with stomach cancer, and that's a pretty baller way to go out. Like, just to hell with the treatments. I'm going to do the coolest shit I can do until the wheels fall off. Like, that's a pretty awesome way to go. So, here's to Toby for that one. Way to live life, brother. But getting into a happier topic, even though this is the Toby Keith special, I had to bring in the big guns, the guy I listen to a lot of Toby Keith with. I had to bring in my old buddy, Bob. Bob, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So Bob was briefed on a little bit of what we do here, and he was told to come correct and have a full glass of whiskey when the show began. So, Bob, what are we drinking on tonight?
We are drinking Gentleman Jack, and this is the Costco collectible edition where you get a nice little glass with it.
Nice. Your man after my own heart. I got the whiskey labeled glass from Dollar General. My usual co-host Chris is working super late tonight. He should be just getting home actually, but he has the fancy like aerator glasses where it's like a larger glass on the outside, and then there's like this air pocket and then a smaller glass inside of it. It's kind of, I don't know if you've seen them before. It's kind of quirky, but it's supposed to be like the ideal way to drink whiskey.
Need
I don't know if you're
PhD in chem to drink that. Jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot of science that goes into it. I don't know. I don't get the difference. I mean, maybe somebody, watching this, we for some reason, a lot of very legitimate whiskey tasting podcasts follow us. So if one of you guys want to chime in here, that'd be great. But like the air pockets that are supposed to make such a difference are completely isolated from the whiskey. So I'm not really sure how that works necessarily. But, I'm not going to sully the good name of Toby Keith while spending this entire podcast talking about science, even though I know science is near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, you mentioned the whole not doing the treatment thing, and I respect that. He went out like Buffett, so that's a worthy cause.
It absolutely is. And that's one of the things I wanted to get into while we're talking a little bit of Toby Keith is, I don't know about you, but that was like he was the soundtrack to like 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Like always Made in America would have to be on. Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue will have even the most liberal person out in the yard saluting. Obviously got Beer for My Horses. Like he was just a master of good times with the guys drinking music. And so was Jimmy Buffett in a different kind of sense. Like Jimmy Buffett was more like chilling out, maybe a margarita, some boat music. We lost two titans of Hanging with the Boys soundtracks this year, Bob.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't even believe it. I mean, it was already bad enough with Jimmy Buffett. It was right around Memorial Day, I think, or Labor Day. And
it was Labor Day.
Didn't even believe it. But yeah, Jimmy Buffett was more when we were hanging out on the John boat, and Toby Keith was more when we were sitting under the gazebo down at the acres. We didn't really remember the Toby Keith part, but we at least got the Jimmy Buffett down.
Yeah, Toby Keith is big trailer park party vibes for sure. I feel like Jimmy Buffett his fans were slightly more classy folk. Although that's not the case, all the way across. Bob and I went to a Jimmy Buffett tribute band and were accosted on several occasions by some of the elder ladies in the audience.
What was the line? Can we say it, or are we going to get canceled for that?
No, well, you were the guy wearing the cheeseburger on your head, so I was going to let you do a little bit of the background on that.
Yeah, so we're a couple beers in, and we're walking to grab more at the watering hole, and this old lady is like, you got a big pickle to go with that cheeseburger. And we were of age, so it I guess wasn't that bad, but definitely probably 40-year age gap.
yeah, it definitely took you back a little bit. Because she was sitting down, which made me wonder if she could get up. But I mean, hey, for what she was looking to do, she could have done it from a seated position.
Yeah. Island time, man.
It was a little cold that evening, though, so it might not have been the best venue.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would not happen, I don't think, at a Toby Keith concert. I think that's the Toby Keith concert is a lot of guys in jorts and like that American flag tank top, maybe a straw cowboy hat, something like that. A lot of the women have tattoos up in this general vicinity, maybe a bald eagle. Very different vibe for sure. You're not a whole lot of crossover between those two genres.
It's an eagle in the Rockies.
Yeah, an eagle soared over the Rocky Mountains.
Can't get more American than that, right?
Should I say the saggy Rockies, however?
Erosion, it happens.
Erosion happens. If you're lucky, you can take a trip down the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure Chris's mom listens. Pretty sure Chris's mother-in-law listens. So if you're out there, I apologize for the direction this took.
I'm proud to be an American.
Oh, dude, shout out to... You're right, dude. Okay, so we got some fans reaching out here. Food Lore, absolutely right. Red Solo Cup, classic memorial. Okay, trip to the Grand Canyon. I like that one, too. We got someone's joining the riff with us. Food Lore's got a couple of heaters. Yeah, you could take a trip to the Grand Canyon as well. Just not during the rainy season.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
But yeah, dude, Red Solo Cup. I did forget about that one. Red Solo Cup goes hard too. Dude, I was listening to one earlier that some of Toby Keith's music would absolutely get him canceled today. But have you ever heard the song "Get Out of My Car"?
I have not.
It's a great, great song. It's about Toby Keith picking up a girl at the bar. They're driving around town, and she hasn't decided which way this night's going to go yet. And he said, "Get out of your pants or get out of my car."
There's no such thing as a free Uber, so
that's
sense.
The chorus. It's so good. It's man, she's trying to decide if she should put on her shoes or take off her pants. And like there's like an orchestra in the background going, "Take off your pants." It's a thing of beauty, but I can see where he could not put that out in 2024.
I always liked the "I Love This Bar" song.
Oh, dude, yeah. I love this bar. It's my kind of place.
Yep.
He's got another great bar song, if you're not familiar with it, called Clancy's Tavern.
I have not heard that one.
Give it a listen. It's like his Piano Man, if that makes sense. Like he's singing about this like smoky, greasy dive bar with like this, kind of weathered bartender and all the regulars. It makes you want to go sit down at the bar where you can smoke inside.
Been to a few of those. They're few and far between.
I know, but there's nothing better than a Sig's Inside bar.
Absolutely. They got a whole bunch of them down in Myrtle Beach. Highly recommend.
I'm actually heading down that general vicinity. Going to be taking a trip down to, I believe it's Devil's Head, Devil something. I don't know, Devil something in North Carolina.
Go a few hours south. You can go to the Dollhouse.
It is it's a wholesome family vacation, so the Dollhouse might not be on the agenda. But
all right. Well, if you need gas, you can stop at Biscuits and Porn and get your gas.
That's a place down there?
Yeah, dude. That's a store down in North Carolina, and it's pretty simple. They make great breakfast food, and they have porno magazines.
Okay, so it's just mags. Okay, in my head, I'm picturing like, like they have those booths, and you're just like knocking down like a Popeye's biscuit.
It's not like that, but
I'm gonna take Toby Keith's name off of this debauchery real quick. He didn't deserve this. Although he'd be proud.
He had stomach cancer, not testicular cancer, so don't get it mixed up. That still worked.
Oh, but, that still worked.
Hey, if he's going on tour, man, up until he dies, then I'm going to assume that that's the case.
You're right. He wasn't out there seeing the sights. So, man, talking about that song made me remember another great country legend. I'm sure you're familiar. Have you heard the musical stylings of Wheeler Walker Jr.?
I have not.
Do yourself a favor. Take about an hour tonight and just wander down that path. He's the guy that sang the Drop 'Em Out song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that is his most tame song, for sure.
Gotcha.
He's got a couple others that YouTube is going to censor this podcast for, but they're spectacular. Actually, I'll text a couple of them over to you just so you have an idea of what we're talking about here. But yeah, are there any? I mean, I know we only have a couple people tuned in. Do we have any Wheeler Walker Jr. fans listening? Drop a comment with what your favorite Wheeler Walker song is, because they are all pretty incredible. Okay, I'm just setting this one over. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I am.
Dude, just look through some of the song titles. They're pretty amazing. He has another one called I don't know if, whatever. I might get canceled, but not canceled. I might get censored. But it was "Fuck You, Bitch."
Yeah, and also let's see what else is there. Fuck This Job, Fucked by a Country Boy, Puss in Boots.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one. I forgot about that one.
That Fuck This Job one. That's a little bit too relatable lately. But
you got it. That's a new one. Yeah, it's fuck this job and fuck my boss. Fuck your profit and fuck your loss.
That's genius lyrics.
That's a great one. At risk of this getting taken down and watching our viewers go down, my favorite song title of his is "Eating Pussy and Kicking Ass." It sounds like a George. He plays like a George Thorogood song.
Yeah.
What the hell? You know what I'm talking about? What the fuck?
Yeah,
what's that song called?
I forget.
That's gonna bug me, but it's to that rhythm, dude.
Gotcha.
I gotta look that up. That's gonna bug me. What the hell that George Thorogood song is? Hold on.
Do you know George Thorogood started his music career in Delaware?
No, really?
Yeah. So originally it was George Thorogood and the
Bad to the Bone.
Bad to the Bone. Yep.
Yeah, he was a Delaware guy. Good for us.
Yeah, he started at actually the Queen. My dad went and saw him a couple times before he really kind of took off and did, one bourbon, one scotch, one beer.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Okay, hold on to that one because we're going to get to that topic in a second.
Okay.
But dude, that'd be so cool to have him come back and do Freeman Arts, which for people not in the Delaware area is this big Delaware amphitheater on the water, and it's where the burger incident with the big pickle happened, but it would also be a great place to have George Thorogood come back around and do some drinking songs.
Well, speaking of Freeman Arts, we saw the Darius Rucker concert. Did you see his mugshot? Do you know that he was arrested lately?
No, really? What the heck? What, Darius?
Yeah, dude. He had it was drug charges and disorderly conduct. Yeah, dude.
Well, what kind of drugs? Hold on, let me see. Because I could totally see him. I could see him like getting busted, with weed or whatever, but like I couldn't see him doing any hard drugs.
I'm gonna assume it was probably something along the lines of something that looked like baking powder.
Damn, he was arrested 4 days ago. How did I miss this? It couldn't have been that bad. His bail was only $11,000. It hasn't come out yet. What drugs? Oh, dude, the mugshot's rough.
Yeah.
I wish I could post it on here, but do yourselves a favor. Look up the Darius Rucker mugshot because that man does some serious makeup work on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, they were okay. So they busted him with Bob. We need your help with this one. Psilocin.
It sounds like one of those pills that is for your blood pressure.
I don't. Yeah, it's a Schedule 1 pill.
How do you spell it?
Hold on. Hold on. PSILOCYN.
Tryptamine alkaloid.
They got him. Where the hell was he? He was arrested in Franklin, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. So interesting that you say Schedule 1. So, like, I don't know how often you deal with this, but where I work and what I do, like, they're now using psychedelics like that as potential therapies, and that's like a distant cousin of modern day shrooms. So
that kind of makes sense.
It's a psychedelic. I mean, I guess he was maybe looking for some inspiration or something.
But that's the kind of drugs I could see Darius Rucker doing. Like, I could definitely see him, a little pot, a little shrooms, maybe some acid if he's feeling like it's definitely introspective stuff. Like, I could not see him doing coke. I couldn't see him shooting up or anything. Like, it's real recreational shit.
Yeah. He's just looking for the wagon wheel, and it's got like all the tie-dye and everything behind it,
Well, dude, I mean, his previous band was called Hootie and the Blowfish. Like,
that is true.
That doesn't come to you naturally. That's, that was artificially enhanced.
I want to know how they arrived at that name. Because AI wasn't a thing back then.
I want to say, that's got to be out there. I don't even know if AI came with Hootie and the Blowfish. Oh, never mind. How did Hooters get its name? No, if you gotta wonder how Hooters got its name, you don't know. You gotta get out and touch grass.
All right, so the trio called themselves Hootie and the Blowfish, which was an odd tribute to two South Carolina classmates.
Yep.
One had thick owl-like glasses, while the other was known for his jowly appearance.
Yeah.
We weren't thinking it was a name that would have forever. Interesting.
Yeah, so I found a different article. This one's in Rolling Stone, but it's very similar. But Rucker was the one. They were all out drunk one night, and as guys do when your buddies walk into the party, it's look at this fucker, look at this bastard whatever came in. Rucker said, in a drunken moment, Rucker christened them Hootie and the Blowfish because one classmate had bug eyes and another had puffy cheeks. So he just kind of said it one night, and the three of them were already hammered, and they were like, "Yo, we should start a band, Hootie and the Blowfish," and it became an icon.
And take shrooms while we're doing it.
Evidently, yes. I mean, yeah, you got to figure think about when Hootie and the Blowfish were really banging. Like, that was prime drug use territory.
Oh yeah, dude, that was we were microscopic back in those days.
Exactly. So, speaking of drug use, our topic for tonight's Let's Drink About It is the best day drinking music. We talked about how we lost two day drinking idols in Toby Keith and, Parrot Head himself, Jimmy Buffett, this year. So it got me to thinking, what if you're putting together, you don't have to be song titles instead, but if you're putting together like, a barbecue with, 20 of your buddies and their girlfriends. So you got guys, girls. What kind of playlist are you putting together to get people into it?
I don't know. If the girlfriends are there, it's definitely going to be different than when the guys are there. I would say probably Freebird is one of them.
Yeah.
Like a lot of classic rock.
Got to do some Freebird. Got to do some Eagles, I think.
Yeah.
Some good yacht rock, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about yacht rock though. It's been hit or miss lately.
Depends if you consider the Eagles yacht rock or not. Food Lore, I'm going to appeal to you on this one because you've been Johnny on the spot with the comments. Would you consider the Eagles yacht rock?
I would say no.
I would say that they walk the line between classic rock and yacht rock. Take It Easy, you could definitely say is yacht rock, and it's one of their best songs. But then Hotel California, you're right. Life in the Fast Lane also isn't. I'm trying to think what else like has got to be on there. Definitely, definitely some Jimmy Buffett. Alan Jackson, because they have the Alan Jackson version of "It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere" is a classic.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I have so many. Problem is, you have like, all these bands and songs that you always have saved, and I'm blanking on.
Well, I would even argue some Queen in there too. Like Another One Bites the Dust, We're the Champions. Oh, what else? I think I actually had like a summertime kind of hang out with your friends playlist.
The Food Lord jury is back, and the Eagles are a classic rock band. They're an 8-track type of rock, which I think is a really good way to put that.
Oh, for sure.
If you're doing I'm in my head, this is day drinking outside in the summer. I think you got to have some Steely Dan, some Doobie Brothers, maybe a little Grateful Dead.
Yeah, I would say Bob Marley.
Yeah, you can do some Bob for sure. I'm trying to think who else.
Aerosmith. I know I have them on a few of my playlists.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Aerosmith would be kind of. I'm thinking like Aerosmith as the night goes on and people are getting hammered. They're definitely not hanging out in the backyard flipping some burgers, drinking.
Yeah.
Who else?
I don't know. I think part of it really depends on the crowd that you're with.
It does for sure, and like the age groups, like there's definitely some like soft like hip hop songs that I want to throw in there, like "Sunflower Seeds" by Bryce Vine's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, how do we both forget? Dude, Fast Car is climbing the tracks right now, so Fast Car would have to be on there. Dire Straits, good call. Food Lord's another good one. We got to install those microwave ovens. Man, what the hell else is there? We got a good list cooking so far. I want to get a couple more. The thing is, I have a drinking playlist, but it's the completely other direction. Like, it's a lot of like songs you'd hear in a Boston Irish bar, like Rose Tattoo and all, where like you're just slamming pints of beer.
Yeah,
Rose Tattoo gets people going.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think summer's a little far out. We could pivot the conversation and say, what's on your St. Patty's Day drinking playlist?
I like that. I mean, if it's St. Patty's Day, then you're absolutely got to have some Dropkick Murphys in there. So like I said, you got Rose Tattoo, you got Shipping Up to Boston, you got This Isn't Wild Rovers, another one you got to have on there for St. Patty's.
Rattling Bog
is a problem, but it's great. That's like St. Patty's Thunderstruck.
Yep.
Who the hell? Yeah, I'm trying to think what else you put in there for St. Patty's drinking. Going Out in Style. Going Out in Style is awesome.
I would say Rocky Road to Dublin.
Yeah, that's another good one. Streams of Whiskey.
Mm-hmm. Jolly Roving Tar.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of Irish music and borderline sea shanties. I would say for sure.
I don't know. I feel like that's all you need, and then as the day goes on, it just kind of becomes background noise, and you don't even focus on the music.
Yeah, you can play those on a loop, and people eventually are going to be after the first hour and a half. If you're doing things right, people are going to be too sauced to notice you've been using the same playlist for 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, and then you hit a certain point, you're like, all right, cue up Levels by Avicii because you're just that hammered.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, then if you're getting into that kind of like the EDM side of things, Levels by Avicii. You got Lay Low by Tiesto. You can get into Numb with Khaled. Like that. That's when you're starting to like. That's the drinking at the Irish pub's over. Now you're out at some kind of like dance club bar type of vibe.
Definitely.
And now that we've reached that point in the night, I realized Chris and I had this conversation, but you and I drink together not as often, but I would say we drink together so hard when we are together, we're probably equal to Chris and I in the amount of beers consumed. Plus, we had an 8-year head start, which helps. So if you had to go, let's say we got brunch drinking, outdoor day party drinking, Irish / dive bar drinking, and then night bar / club drinking. And then we'll add boat drinking because you and I do a lot of drinking on boats. Rank those for me, like top to bottom beer scenarios for you.
Ooh. Boat drinking is number one because you get more bang for your buck. So
fair point.
The general consensus is when you're drinking on a watercraft, it's like 2.5 beers as opposed to on land, just because the gyroscope and the water. Yeah,
the bob.
I would say after that is St. Patty's Day, though. Really not a big brunch. So that's probably going to be last, and then the others are just kind of floating in the middle. But I would say drinking on a watercraft, as long as you're responsible and if you're driving, you're under that limit. I would say that's the one that takes it.
Drinking on a watercraft, if you're not driving, got to be unanimous number one. I agree. For me, it goes second would be like a dark dive / Irish pub. Third would probably be the day drink, although it depends. That's so heavily dependent on who you got around you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, like I live and die by the vibes in the room. Like if we're day drinking outside and people are talking about, how's the house, how's the kids, how's work going, I'm bored as shit. But if we're outside playing cornhole, people are talking shit. Maybe two guys start wrestling off to the corner, or people are getting a little bit wild. Now I'm in. Immediately after that would be that night bar drink. I mean, I can't do that every weekend, but once a month, it's kind of nice to just go black out and like, And you're right, brunch drinking kind of blows.
Yeah, well, I guess the big question is what's like for each of those. What's your go-to drink? Because I know on a boat for me it's beer, but like if it's day drinking, vodka soda, or like a light beer like a Corona, or even like a Busch Light. And then if it's later in the night, I'll do like a Budweiser and a whiskey back of some sorts. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a good strategy. The only place we severely differ is probably the late night. But you're right. The brunch we can almost throw out. If I'm doing it, I'm going to find some kind of brunch cocktail that has sometimes we'll do like a maple bourbon or something that I can like spin into a lunch drink. Or if they do a good Irish coffee, I could get down with an Irish coffee for a brunch drink, but I'm not going anywhere near a mimosa. I don't like champagne personally.
Yeah. Same.
Boat drink, you're right. It's a must beer situation. And it depends on who I'm with. Like if I'm out on like a pontoon boat with like my buddies, you're right. We're getting Busch Light. We're getting something you can get in bulk and put down pretty easy.
Yeah.
If it's a BYO situation and I'm only paying for myself, I'm probably going to get a Landshark, a Corona, or maybe a Modelo, something a little bit more tropical.
Yeah.
The night bar is where we definitely. Oh, no, sorry. Then the next one was the day drink. The day drink's also going to be a beer situation for me, but that's probably going to be, like a Yingling, maybe a Mick Ultra, something. Oh man, Yingling's not light, but something I can easily drink 8 to 10 of and not really feel it. But the night drink, we couldn't be more separate on. Like at night, I'm already fading. I don't want to. Like I want to get hyped, but like your body's just slowing down, especially if you're coming off of a day drink.
Yep.
So first thing through the door, vodka Red Bull right off the bat. Then we're gonna pivot right in. You know this. Then we're gonna pivot right into rum and cokes. Rip about 7 in the first hour, and just go clear past your cruising altitude.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, but I wasn't sure if you were going to initiate that conversation or not.
No, and I wish I could, but my computer just tanked on me. So I'm at, we got about 7 minutes of battery remaining, which is probably a lot less than that. But that's more reason for Bob to come back for another episode. So the next time you come back, we will get into a little bit of our drinking past, as much as we can divulge to the general public.
God, as long as there's nothing incriminating, I don't think. But
we've never gotten booked together at least. But until Bob comes back for part 2, I'm Brandon. He's Bob. Tonight we're the Whiskey Gingers. I'll see you back here next week when Chris rejoins us. Good night, everybody.